Good morning or good evening, everybody. We are in Poland at the Lampizator factory, and today we have a very nice guest, Jack from United States, who is our old customer and friend. He's visiting Poland because he's originally Polish, and since he owns Horizon 360, he was very curious to come and have a first listen to the Aphrodite. So I could not resist but to have a second opinion and a trained ear, and also his home system is very sophisticated. So he's a seasoned listener, and the value of this kind of seasoned listener is invaluable for us. And we are just one day before shipping the first Aphrodite to the customer, and then the others will follow. So it's a very important last minute review. And welcome to our factory, Jack, and nice to have you.
Well, thank you, Łukasz. Thank you for inviting me. I gotta say that other than visiting my family, having some good beer with friends, this is the highlight of my trip to Poland. So I'm a proud owner of the 360. I've had it for almost a year.
You had other Lampizators.
I have
before.
other Lampizators, but the 360 is on a different level than the ones I had in the past. I mean, I started with the Atlantic, moved to the Pacific. The 360, at least until now, has been the best DAC that I've ever heard in my system. The Aphrodite will likely change it.
But let's not jump into the to the purchasing decision. But you also have a preamp, so you use the Horizon with the preamp.
I use the Horizon with the preamp. I have a couple of different preamps that I'm playing with. The VAC statement, one of the solution preamps, the CHL10. They all have different strengths.
You also mentioned the big MBL.
Yeah, I had the big MBL. My system is I have the extremes, so naturally I try the MBL preamp, which is a good preamp, but not at the same league as the VAC, which I think has some special synergy going on with my amplifier.
I have to agree. VAC is a company that I go along with very well, and the products, of course.
Yeah. So I'm obviously considering the Aphrodite. It is. I'm glad, number one, to see that it's got the same kind of signature looks, and the design is really the extension of what the Horizon has brought to the table. I had a brief listening session, and it definitely was definitely worth flying all the way from the States. I probably want to talk about the differences, although I believe most of our listeners would like to hear what my thoughts were. So
yeah, because
I'm probably one of the very few.
You're not only comparing to your home memories, but you also have a chance to
you can't
have them side by side and fixed volume.
You can't really do compare it to my home memories because it's a completely different system. The only thing that was in common was the Horizon. So I can compare it with the Horizon. I can extrapolate and I can imagine what the Aphrodite would do in my system.
Yes. And looking at your system, I agree that it could be quite spectacular. So we went through a couple of songs and different genre and different kind of recordings. And I think that consistently we both agreed that we like what Aphrodite is bringing to the mix.
Yeah, I think it's it brings it has the same signature sound, but more of everything. I think that strikes me first of all as the kind of a delineation between instruments, transient response, maintaining the same natural tonality. One of the things that also strike me Horizon 360 is called 360 for a reason. It's the open wraparound soundstage. The Aphrodite has more of it. It is kind of addicting.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that, because if I had to come up with one line slogan or marketing I forgot the name, what it's called, this one-liner. It would be, if you like Horizon, you get more of everything.
Exactly. Okay. I mean, it's the same signature sound. I mean, if you have a Horizon, and I could live happily with the Horizon. With Aphrodite, you just get that. You can't put I can't put a percentage number in a foreign system. Okay. I mean, I'm looking forward to hearing it in my system, and I'll be able to kind of quantify it. You just get a little bit more of it. Maybe not a little bit. Maybe in some aspects, a lot more of it.
Yes. I was also glad to notice that your findings align with my findings, because I'm subjective, of course, but I think that I never lose my listener hat. I'm an enthusiast, I'm a DIYer, I'm a listener, I'm an aficionado of stereo sound, so I enjoy doing what I'm doing, and I'm trying to be as objective as I can, even though it's my factory. So being like close to you and noticing our comments on different songs and different aspects of the sound, I thought that I'm not going crazy. I'm still hearing what I'm hearing.
Well, I'm glad I can validate, with someone who designed it. Okay, I can validate my hearing with.
Yeah.
You know the intricacies of everything. You obviously spent a couple of hours with it. You spent how many years have you done?
So in the hobby, or with
no? How many years have you kind of the Aphrodite?
The first Aphrodite that we could listen to, which was the same as we are selling now, but it was not so cleanly built. It was more than a year. So I spent last year practically doing only this, except for the weekends. Even during weekends, I listen to Aphrodite and choosing different aspects, fine tuning. But generally, I'm familiar with how it sounds. And finally, the final revision is not different from the early revision. We just made sure that any like crazy ideas or special solutions wouldn't even bring something more. But no, it is what it is.
So was eliminating the volume control your design decision from the very beginning, or is it something that kind of developed in the process of designing it?
Let me describe the process, because I get a lot of questions on forums and on Facebook or in emails. So to describe the process, I was really happy with the Horizon, and then when we were forced by the changes in vendors' supply chain, we were forced to change the chip. The new chip was even better, so it made me. I couldn't hide the fact that it's a different chip and a different different engine we designed around the chip. So it became Horizon 360. We had to announce the change and not hide it, and it was really sounding one notch better. So when we made the 360 and I made a tour around the world, meeting people, meeting users, listening to the feedback, reading the forums, and so many people said that, look, we have a preamp, so we are maxing out your volume control in the Horizon. And other people said, yeah, me too.
Well, so, I gotta say, I've been one of those.
You're one of those.
It on 63.
Exactly. So I thought, what a waste, because half of my budget for this product is volume control. It's literally half of the budget and half of the part count or of the sophistication inside all the connections. Half of it is volume control, because I wanted to give people the best possible volume control. And it is the best that I know of. It's better than any potentiometer, any kind of stepped attenuator, anything like that. It's like beats it. So I thought that by giving people the volume control of under my full supervision and full approval will solve the problem of choosing the preamp. But on the contrary, people have the preamp and they don't want to change it. So many people listened at a maxed out, so-called 63 level, and I thought it's a kind of a waste. And then I was in California, I met with one of the users, Steve, and he said, oh, I'm also maxing out, but it's a little bit too loud, blah, blah, blah. And then I thought, so I could make a revision and make the Horizon without volume control. And let's just give people the choice if they want to buy it or not. So I came back home and we had a brainstorm session and we thought, what can we do to remove the volume control and make a simpler version? And I thought, well, it would even sound better because it wouldn't be wired to the input controller, to the volume steps. There is like 40 relays through which the signals are going, and resistors and so on. So even if it's maxed out, it's still going through all this network. So it wouldn't be, if somebody wants to use the full volume and use his own preamp, it is better to remove it entirely and hardwire the tubes to the output. And then I thought, oh, well, I would gain some space inside the unit, so maybe I will give people something in return. So, okay, I'm taking out this module, but with a given space and the budget and the sophistication level, I'm giving you something else. So I thought, okay, but maybe bigger capacitors that I could not fit before, maybe a bigger transformer. And we started brainstorming and listening to different solutions, that what could we give more and make better. And everything we did, we found like a little bit better sound, but it started accumulating volume and size. And I thought, we're not gonna squeeze it in the old box. So then the fundamental decision was, can we change the budget and say, okay, we're giving you more stuff, more goodies, more sophisticated Gucci parts, and we improve the sound, but it's not gonna stay on the same price level. So it was a very difficult decision. I said, okay, so it's not gonna be the simple Horizon. We're building entirely new animal. So let's forget the link to the Horizon. Let's open it up. So we made bigger volume, bigger chassis, more height, more possibility to fit large parts, large transformers, more transformers, bigger chokes, bigger capacitors, additional inputs, additional endpoint, and so on and so on. And we filled the almost double size chassis. We filled completely to the full, like a suitcase on vacation.
Yes, the Aphrodite, the chassis is gigantic. I mean, compared to the Horizon, it seems like a little tiny brother. Okay. And it's filled inside. I looked inside and it's pretty much packed with parts.
Yeah. So once I decided that we can open up this limitation, then I said, okay, it's gonna cost more, but people love this sound, and I love the change. So I think there should be, maybe not thousands, maybe not hundreds, but should be at least tens of people who will like my change even for a higher price. So then we get to the sensitive subjects. It's a touchy subject that the price changed so radically, but we've created a beast. And I thought, okay, so now we are not just playing a game of making a good DAC. We want to make the best DAC in the world. And from that moment, I'm opening up the budget, and whatever it costs, and I calculate it meticulously, and that's the end result. So it's a new product. It's a different product. And the removal of volume was just the beginning. It was a domino effect that triggered all this avalanche of changes, and practically all the parts that are inside the chassis that contribute to the sound have been upgraded or doubled or tripled or whatever it is. And of course, we are talking about the asymptotic, this is a mathematical term, asymptotic approximation of the maximum truth, maximum quality. So once you get closer, that any step is very small and it costs a lot. So the diminishing returns are kicking in. But we've taken under consideration the cost of our price list. You know, the entire line from entry level, Amber, and then Atlantic, Baltic, and so on, and Golden Gate and Pacific, and going through the Horizon 360 all the way to the Aphrodite. We had to consider that it makes sense, this spread, and the price difference versus the quality difference, and also our distributors, and also our potential customers who want to upgrade, and potential new customers who will come to us that never been with us before, and they will take the Aphrodite seriously. So all these things we played, and we had a couple of prices on the table, and I was voting for the final price, which was the lowest. I wanted people to, I don't want to stretch the price, like make it crazy statement, okay, bam, this is what I want. No. So of all the possible prices, I chose the lowest, and I enforced that we stick with the lowest price. Hopefully we can keep it, but we cannot lose money on each unit. Because I've seen situations where people calculate the price wrongly. They don't take into account all the elements. And then with every happy sale, they are so happy and they are using a little bit of money. And then when they sell many, they find out their bank account empty, because it takes money to rebuild the stock and replenish the parts and build another batch and another batch and another batch and keep the building open and the lights on. So that's the shortly speaking, that's the story of evolution of the concept of Horizon that became Aphrodite in the end. But it's not Horizon 2 or Horizon Bis or Horizon 1.1. It's everything but that.
Makes sense. And I think I think there is a significant difference in price, and even myself, I'm debating. What I'm hearing is, I think it's justified. I mean, the sound is just the level of resolution and the more openness in sound stage. We audiophiles spent crazy amounts of money to get the 10% of improvement. This is way more than 10%.
Yeah, so I hope that I will give people value that they will appreciate. So with this level of price, you must be damn sure that the value you are giving is undeniable and unquestionable.
Right.
So that was our biggest concern, that we really deliver, and no one can claim that it's just like a bigger box, but not worth the difference. So these are the dilemmas of the new product release, and we're talking 48 hours before the first shipment.
Mm-hmm.
So it's for us like so many sleepless nights and 2 years of development. 1 year before the final Aphrodite took shape, and another year of fine tuning. As I said, we had it for 1 year, and finally we are ready. And some people say that it's too close to Horizon in time, that the release of Horizon was so recent. Well, it wasn't so really recent. Horizon is 4 years old.
Yeah.
That means that we started building it almost 6 years ago. And we have some kind of, let's say that this is a factory, people do some assembly and things, but also we have the brain power and the energy and the enthusiasm to create and to develop and to think about what could we do better. So once you release, like tomorrow we release Aphrodite, that whole machinery that was spending four men, my top people, including myself, were spent 2 years developing this product, plus 2 or 3 external help vendors. And so we stopped the development. Now there will be process of production and delivery and logistics, but our brain needs to keep going. So we like working. So when we did the Horizon, we started selling Horizon, our brain was hungry for like continuation of finding the improvements. That means that we cannot stop, because the biggest part of our job is the fun. And people want to have challenges and to improve, and also to see the results that the market is calling our product the best in the world, hopefully. We never want to stop. So every now and then we will come with a new product that doesn't really erase the old product. So Horizon will continue to be our top DAC in his price range, and with the volume control, and with the minimalistic display, and with some kind of legend. We sold several hundreds of Horizons, so it's a huge success. And Aphrodite will just join it in a completely different market shelf, so to speak. And we are far, far, far from what the market is doing today, as you know.
Oh yeah, there's the DCS, was it like 300,000?
Yeah, there are big players with big prices, the DCS, the Wadax, the MSB and Aries Serat, and I respect these companies, and I'm not going to challenge their prices. God forbid, I'm not going into so deep into the 6 digit, but I'm gonna challenge them all with sound quality and say, hey, I have another proposition, I have another look at the sound quality, and this is my proposition. So hopefully we are found to be not the most expensive, but sounding as close as possible to the most expensive. Yeah, I know. I wouldn't challenge you to buy my DAC for $300,000.
I would never do it. So,
So I respect the legacy people who are climbing the ladder from Golden Gate through Pacific through Poseidon and then Horizon, and I want to continue this. We are like a family. I know these people. Most of them had 4 or 5 DACs before, so I want this continuation.
I had 4 Lampizators. Each step of the ladder was a significant one, and this is a big step.
Yeah, so I could probably, knowing the sound quality and the level of engineering we put into Aphrodite, I could probably, say 150 and still get away with it, but I would lose a lot of connection to my customer base, which I don't want to. So I think that we're trying to find a golden solution, and I have a Excel sheet with 3 pages, which is almost 75 lines. So I calculate everything, and the sheet is telling me that I'm not gonna lose money, and I'm gonna make a solid normal profit that will keep us going, and also it keeps the cheaper DACs, the 4, 5, 6,000 euro DACs cross-subsidized, so we can keep making them efficiently and keep the whole range of products on the same level, because we never increase prices. So Amber cost 4,000 since forever, and it's gonna continue to do so. So it's important to keep the economics of this enterprise must be really balanced and healthy. And with a healthy company, we can do a lot of nice things, and also trickle down the Aphrodite findings as much as we can, all the way down to the lowest DAC. Without the financial struggle, we are much more focused on sound and less on paying salaries and taxes and survival. So I'm very happy to be in a healthy financial situation. So thank you for visiting. If we have time, maybe you can listen more.
Yeah, I would definitely love to listen more. I think this was a...
I want you to have sleepless nights when you leave.
Well, yeah, I mean, if I get the Aphrodite, that's gonna be a lot of sleepless ones.
Thank you very much for
Thank you,
coming.
Łukasz.
Thank you.